Hello and welcome back to YORUBADE. So for this video, I actually wanted to do a reaction to a video that I saw on a new channel. It was actually interesting, and I figured, hey, you know what? I'm gonna talk about my points of what I picked up from this video. I actually learned a little bit of terminology and some words, and it was just nice to watch. I'm gonna leave the video's description in this, or I'm gonna leave the link for this video in this video's description so you can check it out yourself. There's 5 points that I got from the video that I actually want to touch on, want to make a point on. I think it's very beneficial just to talk about some of this stuff. So I'm gonna share that with you all, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So what they're talking about, so the whole point of this, they're talking about it's a debate between should you JAPA, which I just learned that basically means, are you going to go abroad, are you going to move abroad from Nigeria, or is it better to just stay in Nigeria and try to make your success or make a quality life back home? So it was interesting to watch both of them go back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up, and we're going to get into the first point. So every point I'm just going to stop it. I'm going to say the part that I want to bring light to, and then of course you can have your own discussions in the comment section. Tell me what you think, obviously, but every point I'm just going to point out the issue that I picked up, and I'll go to the next one. So let's go.
Exactly my point. How would I spend 3 decades of my life in one place, one same country, and I'm still screaming up NEPA?
All right, so that one was a short scene, but so he's making an argument that, okay, well, so he's part of I'm gonna JAPA and I'm gonna leave. And he actually makes a good point where, you know, if you're an adult, you're like 30 something plus, you've been in a country where all this time, they still haven't figured out how to have consistent power. You always have to keep using generator. It's kind of like, man, this is ridiculous. It's not gonna change. Like, what's going on? This is madness. It's 2023 at this point when they taped it. We're still dealing with this foolishness. It's kind of like, why am I going to continue to stay from here? I mean, it's just representing the infrastructure, the lack of infrastructure development. And I mean, Nigeria is one of the top producing countries of crude oil. Now that we have Dangote in this refinery, hopefully we can see something different. Things really start to change. But this guy makes a good point. He's kind of like, okay, why am I gonna stay here all these years and still have to deal with lack of power? Like, I can't. This is just ridiculous. So I thought that was a good point that he made. I'm gonna get to the next point. Let me get it. All right, let's go.
Over there, it is easy. Like, when there is law, I think there is law there, and I want a place where I will know that I will be safe. If anything happens to me, I can easily run to the government and they'll come to my aid. Over here, I do not think it's the same. If something happens, I cannot easily go to the police and get them solve my problems. Please, I don't want that.
I guess.
Okay, so that's another good point, where obviously nowhere is perfect in the world as far as government. Just relying on government for your safety, it has its pluses and minuses. But I will say that point that she's making, so she's on the camp of JAPA, and she's just saying, okay, like when there's crime, I can't rely on the Nigerian police department or police force, and they're even the ones to cause some of the crime. Like, if you listen to the video, then she talks about, okay, they're just not helpful at all. And it just makes you think, it's just like, okay, well, let me go to a place where they don't have those type of issues. Sure, they already have issues. As we know, a lot of police forces around the world are, I mean, just humans. They're not robots. They're humans, so they have their own biases. But she's saying just rather deal with those problems than the ones back home where it's like it just becomes useless. Like, what's the point if you're not going to help out at all? So I guess it just speaks to the everyday issue. I've been in Nigeria where they're always asking for money, and we all been through that whole situation. And it's just funny that everyone knows what policemen do in Nigeria, and yet the government never addresses it directly. They never, and I'm talking about the federal government, even the states, but the federal government, no one, they don't say anything. It's like, because they know they're not paying them what they should, or they haven't paid them in a while, or they're paying them low, and they're just like, okay, just fend for yourself. So that's just what I gather from them. But they never talk about that specific issues. I'm talking about governments or federal government and it's just like, okay, if something happens, it blows up, then okay, they'll make some type of commentary. But generally, it's just like you don't hear anyone saying we're gonna tackle this issue of corruption with our police force and not keeping us safe. We need to do more, whatever. But you don't get that from them. So let me go to the next point, and let's go.
Tell them to put their hand on the
Dashboard.
and still kill them.
We're talking about America. You know,
No, I'm not. I
in
made
general, to a certain
reference.
extent.
Yeah.
It's true because they're immigrants, which is true.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, I'm more scared of the way the world is going to. There's something Elon Musk said, and he said, if we are trying to globalize, we need to have pockets of different types of cultures that still exist. Because once everything is within one culture and the idea doesn't really work out, what are you going to fall back on? Do you understand? So for us being Nigerians, if, for example, everybody is running abroad, who's going to hold the culture for Nigeria? That's the question. Somebody has to play that dirty game. That's the truth. So that's where I see it from. So
There's no
there
place
has to
like
be,
home for
All right. So the point I was gathering, really, so he talked about the culture, but really I just see it as the brain drain. And he does make a good point where he's on the team of just stay in Nigeria. And he's saying, okay, well, if everyone's leaving, who's going to be back home? I see it as it's just it's a brain drain. Usually the brighter people with more resources, those are the Nigerians that are able to go and get visas and able to go to school and do whatever. Those are the bright people, but they never really, not a lot of them return back. So it's just a brain drain. So I see it from the point of the brain drain perspective, where okay, if everyone is going, the best minds are going, and the government is not really trying to create a situation where they will return, then yeah, it's just a problem for everyone. So then everyone can say Nigeria, but it's like, how do you expect the so-called giant to really fulfill its potential if the people that can really make a difference, or let's just say the people that are obvious to make a greater impact are leaving? Doesn't mean that the people back home can't make a difference, but you know, we all got to be working together. And if a group of people have certain skills or capabilities, then it's a loss when they leave and go and give their time and energy to another country that already has abundance of skilled workers, skilled people. So that's the point I take from that. So I'm gonna go to the next one. And of course, let me know what you think about these points as well. I'm just curious to know your thoughts. Get to this one. All right, let's go.
I think and I feel, and from the experience of my friends that are over there, from what they've told me, from what they're experiencing so far, I do really think that life over there is better than this place. And for any means, I want to go and experience that life.
A working in Nigeria will probably be.
So I don't know why. So this point, the notes that I got for this point is different. Maybe I messed up on the time, but I will say kind of what she's saying. So she was talking about, okay, the friends are saying it's better and stuff like that. It comes down to the psychological impact of always being stressed out in Nigeria and always having to worry if the naira in your pocket is going to be worth less, going to be worth more, is going to keep decreasing, the price is going to keep coming up. It's just that stress of every day. I remember when I was in Nigeria, and it's like I started noticing that I was always on edge because I'm always expecting the worst. And just anything, you're ready to snap because it's like, okay, it's always frustrating. There's always traffic. Everything is dirty. The power goes off and it's hot. So you got to keep dealing with that. And then everyone's beeping their horn. There's just a lot going on. It's dusty, especially in Lagos. And you're just having to deal with that every day for years and years. And I started to wonder, like, if this is sustained for a long period of time, imagine your blood pressure. Imagine how it's impacting your health to always be frustrated. That can't be good. So I can see why a lot of people want to leave, and they're just like, hey, look, I don't want to be stressed out all my life. I don't see any progress. I don't see any positive change happening in the near future. Like, some people be out. I'll come back if I start seeing some positive change, but they're just like, for the most part, we're getting out of it. We're getting out of here, and we're going to save ourselves. So, all right, so I got one more point that I want to bring up. Where's it at? So this will be the last point.
Who is
You'll
coming
be
back
shocked.
again every
I think
day?
for me,
Surprised.
it's all about
Okay.
legacy
Nice
at the end of the
something.
day. And yes, you can actually build a legacy when you JAPA, which is very true. But if at all I'm going to build any legacy at all, I'd rather build a Nigerian legacy within Nigerian soil. Let me give you an example. See Burna Boy. Or he's going for the Grammys, he's earning
That's a
he
bad
has all the opportunity to
That's a
JAPA.
bad example.
But
With
let's
JAPA.
look at it, he's still within Nigeria. He travels
He
to
didn't make it,
Bangladesh.
he
make it.
That's a bad
You know that
example.
he didn't know that he spent some time of his years in UK.
Yes, even if he benefited from that, the truth is that he came back here to settle.
When he had made it.
Unless you are
But the
saying
thing
he's not
is that
settled
he
there.
wasn't even here. That's the point I want to make. I want to go there first. Let me go there and see that, okay, oh, I have to now start going, but I want to go there first. You don't know if I'm going to reason like Burna Boy.
All right. And so for that point is basically, okay, they're giving the example of Burna Boy went over there. I think it was a balanced view where it just showed, okay, so he went over abroad, so London or UK, and he got some type of experience. He was able to see how things are ran. He was able to connect with certain people in a different environment that have a different mindset, a different life philosophy, and he was able to benefit from that. And then from all of that, he still wants to spend most of his time in Nigeria. He's comfortable there and all this. So I guess it's a balanced view where, hey, allow people want to go JAPA, and then let them go out, let them get that experience and see what it is for themselves. I'm sure they're gonna have a longing for Nigeria, even though it's stressful. It's still that type of that culture that they're used to. It's home for them, and who knows, they might come back and they might start investing in the home country. There's a lot of people or entrepreneurs that went over to the West US, UK, Australia, and they got an idea. They got tired of just working a regular job. They went back home, they built businesses, became millionaires. So there's so many stories like that. I'm going to be covering a lot of those stories as well on this channel. But hey, it gives people the option. Look, you want to see something new, you need a break from all the stress of everyday life just living in Nigeria, then go ahead, take that break and come back. Hey, you might get some ideas when you're out there of where you can see opportunities back home, and then from there you're just you're good. I mean, everyone has to live their life for themselves. No one can live it for anyone else, and just do what you think is best. And hey, it is what it is. So those are the points that I wanted to bring up from that video that I watched. I'm gonna really remember to leave the link to that video in this video's description so you can check it out. Let me know your comments in the what you think about just the different points, and how you feel about JAPA, if you're familiar with it or not, and what do you think the best move is for Nigerians in Nigeria. So but before you go, I want to mention, if you're in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and you're looking for some cool West Africans to hang out with, then definitely take a look at my meetup groups. This one is for entrepreneurs, as you can see, DMV, West African entrepreneurs. This one is for Yorubas. It's really all West Africans, but Yorubas started just to learn Yoruba. And then this one's just for regular conversation. So if you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, Saturday, just during the week, something new, you want to kind of switch things up, and you're in the DMV area, then definitely look at the links in this video's description and check it out. Then that will be beneficial for you. You can meet some new people, network a little bit. And then if you're one of those entrepreneurs that want to do something amazing with your life, you're ready to go, you just don't know where to start, you need a little bit of direction, then I do business coaching, but I also have a course that's just simple, really tries to focus on just the personal development side of entrepreneur. Of course, I do talk about the technical side of just starting a business, but really it's a lot of personal development and habits that you got to develop in order to be successful. So that's what I do in this course. And then I do allow part of the first, it's a 7-week course, so part of the first week is actually free, so you can check it out, get that free information, and see if it's for you. So definitely go ahead and check it out. Once again, this link is going to be in this video's description. So appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.